Hey there, if you're watching this video, chances are your child's not talking and you're concerned it may be more than just a language delay. Lots of people have been probably telling you, don't worry about it. Your husband's brother didn't talk until he was 5 and the kid down the street, he didn't talk until he was 3. But as a parent, you're a little bit concerned, and rightfully so. My name is Jessica Leichtweisz, and I'm the CEO of Hope Education Services. I've been working with children with autism for 12 years, and I've seen hundreds of kids. So by the end of this video, I'm going to share with you 4 common signs that all children with autism tend to exhibit. So as a parent, you have a better understanding of whether or not your child is just language delayed, or you need to look into it further and there's something more there. So the number one sign that a child has autism is they're not making eye contact. So if you walk into a room, does your child turn his head to look at you? What if you call their name? Do they look at you? If they're engaged in playing with toys and you said, look, are they going to turn around and make eye contact? When your child wants something, are they looking at you to show you that they want it? So we already established, right, your child's probably not talking. Well, there's a difference between not talking and not trying to communicate. So early on, children use eye contact as a means of communication. When your child's an infant and you walk into the room to pick them up out of their crib, chances are they look at you, they make eye contact, and they have a big smile on your face. If your child is not doing those things, that could be a sign that it's just that they're not talking, that it's more than just not talking. There could be a sign of autism or a similar communication disorder. So the second way that children communicate and the second sign that a child has autism is when they're not pointing. Now this is not when they're just pointing to things every once in a while, but they're actively using pointing as a form of communication. Kids should be pointing to things that they want all the time, many, many times a day, in fact, many times an hour. Not only should children be pointing to things that they want, but they should be doing what's called to seeking out and responding, or initiating and responding to joint attention. So joint attention is also called shared enjoyment. A study was done that shows that the number one thing that all kids with autism have in common is they don't exhibit joint attention. So joint attention is when you're walking in your park with your child and an airplane flies overhead and they say, look, and they point to the airplane. They want to show you what they see. Or when you're reading a book and they get excited because Thomas the Train is on the next page and that's their favorite cartoon character. Well, when they point to it and say, Thomas, that's them initiating joint attention. Conversely, responding to joint attention is when a child follows your gaze when you say, look. Are they following and they looking at where you're pointing? That's responding to joint attention. If your child is not doing those things, that could be a sign of autism. A third sign of autism is when a child is not imitating. So let's go back to Thomas the Train. Let's say that you have your Thomas the Train and you're pushing it on the train track. Does your son look at what you do and do the same thing? Or, if you have a child who's younger, if you were to clap your hands and smile, or you to wave hello or wave goodbye, is your child imitating you? Are they also clapping their hands? Are they also smiling? Are they also waving hello and goodbye? If so, there may be a chance that your child is just language delayed. If your child is not imitating, that could be a sign of autism. Now, imitation, it starts really, really early on, a lot earlier than most parents think. By the time a child's 9 months old, they really should be imitating simple things. And by the time a child's a year old, they should be imitating what you're doing all the time. Now, the fourth and final sign of autism in this video we're going to cover is how a child plays. Oftentimes, children with autism don't know how to play with objects. Now, babies and children, they learn from exploring. So if you were to put a toy in front of them, they very quickly figure out what to do. Babies will quickly learn how to figure out to use a pop-up toy to press the buttons. They'll quickly learn to put blocks into a bucket. They'll use a shape sorter. They'll identify, even if they can't put a puzzle together, they're supposed to be putting the pieces to make a picture. Or a car, they'll know to push it. Children with autism, they just don't know how to play with toys. You can put toys in front of them. In fact, you can spend as a parent hundreds of dollars in buying tons of different toys and not understanding why you do that, but instead they're going into the bathtub and getting the shampoo and conditioner vials and putting them in a line. Maybe if you buy them a toy car, rather than playing with the car, they turn it over and they start spinning the wheels. That's called stereotypy or stimming, and it's often a sign of autism. It means that children really don't know what to do with toys, or they have unusual interest with parts of objects or parts of toys, rather than playing with them in what's really considered an appropriate way, or really how other kids play with toys. Another way that can manifest is by being obsessed with one single thing. It's natural for children to have interests, and it's healthy, and we all do. But if your child is only interested in one thing, like they're only interested in trains, so Thomas is the only show that they'll watch, and if something else comes on, they won't look at it, or they'll only read a book with Thomas the train, and they have to sit and point out every single car that passes by and every single bus that passes by, or they're constantly looking at the wheels of a toy or the wheels of a bus. That is another sign that your child could have autism. So if you're watching to the end of the video, chances are you may be concerned and you may want to know what to do next. Well, the number one thing I'm going to tell you is to check with your pediatrician. Make an appointment right away. The sooner you find out if your child has autism or not, the sooner you're going to have access to services. Now, particularly if you're living in the United States and your child's under 3, there is a way to get help immediately and for free. So if you're watching this video, you're still concerned, I want you to watch my next video. What do I do if I think my child has autism? There's going to be a link to that video in the comments section. I want you to watch it. I'm going to give you lots of tips and lots of strategies. I want you to know that regardless of the outcome, it's going to be okay, and I'm here to help you. So if, watching this video, you're a little bit alarmed, you want more information, please subscribe to this video. I'm going to put tons of different videos on here that's going to help you and your family. And whether a child is diagnosed with autism or not, you're going to find these strategies really helpful in helping him learn to talk.